All right, everybody, beautiful day today in Whistler, morning. And today I'm gonna do a little bike check because I haven't done that in a long time. And I think I'm due to that for you guys right now. So here's my little bikey, little espresso right now. I'm a little bit all stuffy because there's a lot of pollen in Whistler right now. Summer is here, finally. It was a long winter, spring. But summer is finally here. It's beautiful. Look at that. Blue sky. Beautiful. Look at this view. And boom. Here is the beast. So first of all, we're going to talk about the frame. The frame is a Guerrilla Gravity. Guerrilla Gravity is from Colorado, Denver. And they make their bikes in-house in Denver, in Colorado. So they have all the machining and everything. This is a carbon frame, but they use a different process. It's not traditional carbon. It's a bit different. And this bike feels simply amazing. It's been now 2 years that I'm riding for them. And I just love this bike. The concept with GG is that with the same front triangle and same chainstay, you can basically swap the seat stay and you go from a cross-country bike to a full-on enduro bike and you keep the same front triangle and rear end. Entirely made in the US. I'm riding a size 4, so there is size 2, size 3, size 4. I'm riding a size 4, which is the equivalent of an extra large bike. I like a long bike. I've been there's a lot of talk right now these days with, for example, Jack Moore, who is riding a size small, and Jack Moore is way taller than me. And why? Why are these guys, the fast guys, are riding like small bike and stuff like that? And I think that sometimes we get used to something. We have something that works, and as a rider and as a professional mountain biker, when you are racing, you are not necessarily really open to change that. If you have a setup that works for you, why would you change it? The reason why I've been kind of trying things is like I got a really big eye opener with Pink Bike when they launched the Grim Donut, and I did this test with them, and the bike was completely mind-blowing. It was super fast. It was a piece of shit. Bottom bracket was too low, like the cranks were hitting the ground and everything, but the bike was like extremely fast without really pushing hard. So that was a bit of a eye opener for me, and I was like, oh my god, like they went completely to the extreme, and it's actually not bad at all. It's actually super fast. I think the reach of this bike was 520 millimeter. I'm 176 centimeter. So that's like 5'9", 5'10", something like that. So I'm not a tall guy. I'm pretty average size. Head angle was like 57 degree head angle. So anyways, it was kind of funny. And then last year I did a bunch of back-to-back riding size 3, size 4 with the GG. And the size 4 was by far faster. I could kind of rest more. The bike is more forgiving, and even on the tight stuff, you always end up, even with a small bike, you always end up kind of moving quite a bit. And I feel like on a longer bike, you are really centered. You don't have to move as much. You don't have to find your balance a lot. So for me, size 4 is the way to go. And of course, if there is some other tracks that are a bit more like really super tight, slow speed and stuff, I think the size 3 will be better. But my usual setup, the bike that I ride every day, is a size 4. With GG, you can flip the headset cup right here, and you can change your reach by 1 centimeter. So most of the time I ride it in a short size, which means that the reach is 490. And I did a downhill race this weekend, and the track was pretty fast, kind of rough at the top. So I decided to switch it and then push it on the long position, meaning that the reach was now 500 millimeter. For the rides that I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to push it back to 490. But I'm still going to try. I'm going to go to the usual trails that I ride in Blackcomb, and I'm going to try it, do a couple laps on the 500mm position and see how it goes. So that's it for the frame. This is the Gnarvana. This is 170 in the front, 160 in the rear. We have something new coming, little changes coming really soon, so stay tuned with that. Gigi has been fucking killing it during the last few years, and always kind of pushing the technology, their technology, always improving, and then also keeping the things that are really working and not really going too crazy into changing stuff and things that are working. We want to keep that and improve the things that are not really working so well. So that's it for the frame. Now we are going to go to suspensions. I ride now the EXT Era V2 in the front and the Arma V3 in the rear. I've tried the Storia in the rear with the little lockout, but I'd rather use the Arma V3. There is no lockout, but there is this kind of bottom out adjustment here that I think is a super it comes really handy when you riding something like a huge jump or something. I can just like tweak that, and I know that my bike is not gonna bottom out like crazy. So EXT suspensions, amazing. This setup that I'm riding right now is the same setup that I got in January. Same parts on the bike. So I got all these parts in January, and the part that you're seeing right now are these parts. So the wheels, drivetrain, suspensions, handlebar, stem, dropper, seat, crank, everything, the frame, everything is exactly the same, and I didn't change anything. So everything that I have on my bike right now is super reliable, and I just love everything. The frame is wrapped by Ride Wrap, which keep it kind of fresh and everything, and you can see there's a little dent right here, like right here, and I just have to change the wrap and my bike is going to be like brand new just after that. This is super amazing. So yeah, suspensions, we haven't done any service yet, so what I'm doing right now with all the brands is that I'm already trying to do some long-term kind of testing, and I don't like to change things all the time, so I try to really push to the limit my equipment so you guys can have something that's reliable and you know that you can trust it. No service in the suspension and they work super good. Sometimes I put this little thing from WPL, fork boost lube. I put it a little bit in here, and then my suspension works like a charm. So we are probably going to open them up soon with the EXT guys, Alba Distribution, Mac Cooper, and Ben Arnott. We're going to open a session. It's going to be super dark, disgusting inside, but it's working amazingly well right now. P&W handlebar, P&W grips, and P&W dropper post. Loving these products. They are not the most expensive in the market, and they are super reliable as well. No service in the dropper, everything is working well, super good. TRP brakes, the DI Chair Evo. I love these brakes, super powerful. 220mm rotor in the front and 200mm rotor in the rear. Lot of power. I love the modulation of these brakes. It looks like they kind of took the best of the SRAM and the best of the Shimano brakes, and they combine everything, and then now you have the TRP brakes, and a lot of power, not super noisy in the wet, and brake pads. There's two different type of brake pads. I ride with the metallic brake pads most of the time, and yeah, so that's super really good setup right here. I have a new TRP drivetrain in the rear. We can't really show that right now. NS Billet cranks that are going to come out really soon. I have a meeting with them tomorrow, and I'm going to know more about the launch. They are beautiful, no trouble at all as well since January, like no issue at all. So this is pretty amazing. NS Billet basically provides everything that's little brake mounts in the front and in the rear. I have little stem cap into the yard. They do custom stuff, cranks. I also ride the flat pedals. Sometimes I put the flat pedals, the Demon pedal. I ride those as well. Most of the time I ride clip pedals. Just by the way, these are HT pedals, and I've been riding this pedal for 3 years and no maintenance at all on this pedal. So super good product as well. And don't ride for them, but it's good sometimes to kind of highlight when things work really well. Industry 9 now. So the A35 Industry 9 in 32mm long. I like a really short stem on my bike. There was a few people the other day that were asking. We were talking about traction in the front wheel, and some people were like, how do you have a long frame with a really short stem and you say that you can gain traction in the front? And I think that riding a longer bike, which kind of links to the topic that I was talking about earlier, when you ride a longer bike, and the bikes these days are really getting longer and longer and longer, you just have to shift your position a little bit. The way we were riding bikes 10 years ago is different now. So you have to kind of adapt your position. And that's what I do in my coaching, is that I really kind of tweak the way we ride, and I kind of teach people how we'd have to ride a bike these days. So if you book a lesson with me or with Flavio now is an expert with that. If you book a lesson with us, with the Into the Gnarvana, there's a link in the description, and we are going to talk about this stuff, and you will see that your riding is going to really improve quite a bit. Industry 9 wheels as well. Funny thing with those is that I used to ride aluminum wheels, and I used to say aluminum wheels is the way, because you can bend them and you can bend them back and everything. But then they were like, Johan, you should try our carbon wheels and you let us know what you think. And then same thing, I've been riding these wheels since January, and no issue at all. I even think that the rear, my rear is cracked right here, and I've been riding this crack since 3 months now, and no issue at all. So when I say that I want to do long-term testing, I really do it. Industry 9 doesn't even know that I cracked a rim. These rims are the We Are One rims, made in Kamloops in BC. So super strong, super reliable. And then again, you crack one and you can still ride it, still locked in the pressure, nothing. Spoke tension is good. And anyways, new carbon wheels, Industry 9 paired with these carbon rims are simply amazing. The sound, like, this is amazing. It seems that you have a little bee when you're riding. It's amazing, just love it. Hutchinson tires, Racing Lab. So these are prototype tires that we designed with Rémi Métayer when he was at Hutchinson still. Amazing compound, like really soft compound. Really good rolling speed as well, super good traction. I ride with tires in the wet, in the dry, in all the conditions, and the traction is simply amazing. There is like 2 centimeters reinforcement in the sidewalls here, which means that they are DH casing. And then I don't ride any insert as well in those tires. I don't think like I need that. But if I go back to racing, which is a little bit why I'm doing this video as well, is that I'm really enjoying racing again. I've did that little downhill race last weekend. I did the Pemberton Enduro as well, and I'm really enjoying that. So there's the EWS Whistler coming up. I'm registered for it. I've been training. I've lost 10 pounds. I'm feeling strong, and the speed is coming back. So I'm kind of excited to try that and to be back on the scene with everybody, and going through the process again and just experiencing that, and who knows if that goes well, who knows what's gonna happen. And it would be also amazing for Gigi to kind of show that this bike is super fast. So yeah, really excited about that. I have a little thing that I wanted to show you guys, is this thing as well, Anomaly, made in Whistler, designed in Vancouver. This thing is called the Sweet Grade, and you can basically change the angle of your seat. So I have a downhill position, the seat is a bit back, this is like 0 degree position, and then this is completely forward for climbing. I used to have lower back pain and they are completely gone, simply because I have a really good position when I'm climbing. But this thing, I've been riding it now for 4 months. They sent it to me at first and I didn't really know what to think about it, and turns out that I'm using it all the time. I just love this thing. Same thing, 0 maintenance. I haven't done anything on it. It's been on my bike and I just kind of play with it, use it all the time. So I have really good position climbing, really good position descending. Super good. At the bottom there's a little link as well with a promo code. You can order it and try it. It's simply amazing. They do also custom colors, so you can be matchy with your bike. Another thing that I'm going to talk about is this little device. This is a Archer component. They make basically a system that can connect to any derailleur, so any type of derailleur, like 7 speed, 12 speed, 11 speed, 10 speed, whatever, old derailleur, new derailleur, whatever, and then you can connect the system, and this can basically transform your derailleur into a wireless derailleur. The advantage of this thing, which is super cool, is that if you have, sometimes you ride and then you have, for example, this gear right here that's kind of shitting the bed, you can micro adjust this single gear without adjusting the full thing. So sometimes it's a bit of a pain when you have a derailleur and then you try to adjust everything, and then sometimes everything is moving at the same time. With this thing you can simply micro adjust each single gear, which is super cool. And then Archer is just at the beginning of their journey. They are 2 guys from California. They have a bunch of ideas. They are really, I think, really trying to innovate with something. And they are really pushing hard. They just love it. And I'm working with them just to kind of develop their product and see how far we can go and what we can develop in the future. So I'm going to reinstall that. Basically, TRP asked me to put the derailleur on the bike, do some testing, give them feedback about the way the derailleur works. This is a prototype still, so I had to test it with the shifter, and working super well. But now I'm going to install that and do some testing with both system pair at the same time, and I will let you know how everything goes as well with this little thingy. The SRAM drivetrain is basically top notch of the game. You can't go wrong with a SRAM AXS drivetrain. Super reliable as well. No issues with the thing. I was riding for SRAM for 8 years, and then their drivetrain is simply amazing. And then now you see like people like TRP, like these guys that are starting to go in the game, and they are trying to innovate and everything, which I think is amazing. So I'm pumped to support those guys as well. Seat, SDG, saddles as well. I'm riding this one. This is, yeah, super comfy. Loving this saddle. I'm gonna do that so you guys have a nice thumbnail. This is my toolbox. This is a Lab Auster roll tool bag. Same thing, little link in the description. This is amazing. You put all your tools in there, your lube and everything. Just do that, roll it, and then you put it in your car up, and then it doesn't move at all. Doesn't move at all. I love this thing. Love this little product. Same thing, link in the description. We made a little backpack with Lab Auster as well, entirely made of recycled material. It's super cool. A bunch of projects with this company. In terms of coaching, I'm doing some camps in the winter. We're going to Peru in September, from the 10th of September until the 18th. This is going to be amazing, trip of a lifetime. I've never been to Peru. We're going to have a guide, I'm super excited about this trip. So that's going to be super amazing. There is like 10 to 12 spots available. We are just launching that right now. Link in the description as well. This is a partnership with Big Mountain Adventure, and yeah, super exciting. Link in the description below, and then you can have all the infos to go to Peru with me in September. Amazing. Another trip that I'm doing is Mexico, OAXACA with OAXACA expedition with Ravi. Flavio is coming with me. We have 12 people signed up for both camps, for both dates. We do 1 week back to back, and we have 2 spots left for each date. So link in the description as well. You can sign up, look at the information. OAXACA is amazing food and everything. Super cool. I'm gonna do some more coaching with pros, people that are willing to race, to develop their performance, develop their technique on the bike. I'm starting a program for that as well in the fall. There will be more infos as well with the coaching. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I think you enjoyed it. This is my little bike, and I'm really excited to go race the AWS Whistler Crankworks in August 7. Stay tuned. We're gonna do some training now. Peace out.